I wanted to show how FrameReporter works, so one of our tools. It's mainly concerned with helping you be more efficient at editing layouts. So one of the things you have to do in InDesign to find out information about various items is inspect various palettes. So for example, there's the info palette. You can select an item and see some information about it. There's the links palette that shows you where certain things link, whatever, but quite often it's a bit cumbersome to actually look at different palettes to collect all the information you want at a certain point in time. So with FrameReporter that becomes a lot easier. So you just select various items and FrameReporter will automatically put little labels on the side of the frame. So those labels are non-printing, they don't print. They're just there for editing, but they can give you additional information. One of the ways it works is that those labels need to fit on the side of the frame. So for example, this image, I can see the effective resolution, and if you verify that against the info palette, you see effective PPI, effective resolution, size of the image, and you also see the image file name, so which is the same as what you would see on the links palette. So there's no new information being displayed, it just displayed in a more efficient way, so it's easier to get at it. Same with this one, but if we look at this image, for example, I don't see the image file name. The reason is that there's just not enough room on the side of this frame, so to make that visible you just need to zoom in a little bit. See, as soon as I zoom in far enough, the missing information also appears. Now the main reason why I have so many labels here is because I'm just displaying a lot of them for the sake of the demo. So in practice you would actually reduce the labels being displayed to the ones you actually really need. So for example, I would not display the effective resolution. So here you see a list of all the things we can display, and I'll go over a few of them later on. So I've disabled the show image effective scaled resolution. See, and now even if I zoom out a bit, like this, see, like all three frames can still show their image file name on the side, because I'm only showing frame size and image file name at present. So it's a matter of configuring the FrameReporter so it's only displaying what you actually need, and the default configuration is mainly about showing off the things it can do. Now, one of the reasons why FrameReporter is fairly handy is if you're in a workflow where you're using the script label, and the script label is standard InDesign, so you just go to the Window Utilities menu and you have a palette called script label. So that's been in all versions of InDesign since forever. That script label allows you to attach some extra information to any item you see on the page. Like for example, if I click this item, I can actually type something like, for example, Mana Island, say, like. Then if I now select this, you see, like, I see the script label as an information tag. Same here, say, like, I call that boat, and I call this one say, like, Pawatahanui. See, and those script labels might actually indicate something. So you might have a workflow, for example, where there are frames that are placeholders for information, and you could use the script label to actually indicate what kind of information they're placeholders for. So if I want to see those script labels, all I do is select all, and immediately I see all the script labels for those individual items. This is both Mana Island, Pawatahanui. Without FrameReporter, you actually have to go through each item in turn and look at the script label palette. See, like, so I see, like, this one is Pawatahanui, this one is Mana Island, this one is boat. So with FrameReporter, much easier. Just select them and you see the script labels. See, so that's one of the main reasons why you would want FrameReporter, is if you're at any time using script labels, that's a tool that makes it really easy to see them on the layout where they show on the items they apply to. Another reason why FrameReporter is pretty cool is that it helps you with text that is threaded through multiple frames. So, and now I want you to imagine that these frames are actually on 3 different pages. So for the sake of the demo, I'm actually showing them here. What I'll do is I'll also show the text threads, and I'll thread them together. So I'll thread this one to this one and this one to this one. See, now I have 3 frames threaded together. I'll put in some placeholder text. So put in my cursor, use Chatter Goofy to generate some fake New Zealand English. So Chatter Goofy is one of our freebies. It's a re-implementation of the Jabberwocky from an older page layout program that used to be fairly popular. Right, so I have this text. Now imagine that this frame is on page 20 and this frame is on page 15, and I'm editing on page 15, and watch what happens. So I add a new line, and actually I've caused an overset in the very last frame on the very last page, so that you can see here. So what FrameReporter does, it also adds an overset marker on the frame where you're editing. So I now know that I've caused an overset, so I know I need to delete that line. See, so that's a fairly cool feature, so it allows you to not worry about whether you've caused overset or not, and you don't need to go and find that last frame of that list of threaded frames. Another thing I can do is, for example, say I'm worried about the last word of each story. See, like I have this one, show last word of story. See, if I now click on any frame of the story, I see the last word here, umpteen, is effectively shown on the frame that's selected. So just sometimes it might be important to make sure the last word is correct, like it's actually complete, there's no data missing. Another cool one is to do with master pages and overridden items. So suppose I'm on the master page and I have a frame here with some color in it, say make that yellow. I go back to pages, see, like I can see that item behind my text there. And then on this page I say override all master page items. Cool, so now this thing actually, I'll put that out of the way, so this yellow frame looks like a regular frame, but it is different from the other ones, because the other ones are totally independent, so they're not reliant on anything on the master page, whereas this one, despite the fact that I can move it around, it is still linked to the master page. So how can I know that this thing is linked to the master page? Well, FrameReporter can help you find that out very easily. So all you do is say here, show overridden master page items. See, and now each time I select a frame that's actually overridden, it actually puts the word overridden on the side. So now I can clearly see that there is a difference, and if I wanted to know on the page what are the overridden page items, I can immediately see this one is overridden. So if I wanted to change the color of this one and do it throughout the document, I would go to the master page and then change the color to something else. And if I go back to my first page, see, like the color has changed because it is an overridden master page item. See, that's another cool one. Now the last feature is mainly important for people that do a lot of scripting, but you see all these items here that you see, like the whole list of available information tags that you could display is fully scripted. So all of these items are just little JavaScripts or extend scripts that are stored in a little folder together with the FrameReporter plugin. And anybody who knows a little bit about scripting can just add their own additional information items. So if you know how to get at some information via a script, it's just like a 3-4 line script that you need to write and put into a folder to add to this dialog and add your own items and show them on the sides of the frames. So that's a fairly powerful feature for people in custom workflows. That's really very interesting. But of course you can just go with the things that are available as such, and already with those, FrameReporter is an extremely powerful tool. Thanks for your time. See ya. Bye bye.